Breonna Taylor's mother says her fight for justice is not over after the family's settlement with the city. Demonstrations continued in Louisville last night in honor of Taylor, who was shot and killed in March while officers were serving a no-knock warrant at her home. The city of Louisville agreed to pay Taylor's family $12 million. It is the most the city's ever paid in a police misconduct case. National correspondent Jericka Duncan reports from Louisville.
Today, I felt like pressure was applied.
Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her two attorneys say the $12 million settlement is just the beginning.
It was a precedent-setting settlement to declare that Black women lives matter too.
At Tuesday's announcement, Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher apologized.
And I'm deeply, deeply sorry for Breonna's death.
And do you accept that apology?
I think that it took him a while to get there.
There is no admission of fault. But $12 million plus reform says a lot.
Those reforms include retaining social workers to support and assist officers, overhauling search warrant procedures, and creating an early warning system to better track officers who have a history of complaints.
Breonna was a first responder here, during her time on Earth. She helped people, she saved lives, and she's continuing to do that.
Her family and the attorneys are now focused on the officers involved in Taylor's shooting death.
At a minimum, it should be second-degree manslaughter charges.
Back in March, Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were in bed in her apartment when police executed a no-knock warrant in connection with a drug case. Walker fired one shot at police, saying he believed they were intruders. 3 officers returned fire, killing Taylor. No drugs were ever found in her home. Kentucky's Attorney General Daniel Cameron is leading the investigation into the fatal shooting.
What would you say to Daniel Cameron today if he's watching?
Even imagine if it was his child. I don't think what I've asked for has been anything other than what she deserves, and it's been justice from all along.
Steve Romines is the attorney for Kenneth Walker.
Clearly, the grand jury is meeting now. When they return something or when there's a report, we'll just wait and see.
As Louisville braces for a decision regarding the fate of the officers, businesses remain boarded up throughout downtown. As for Palmer, she says she's grateful for the peaceful protesters who continue to say her daughter's name.
You got these people who don't even know you who are continually to lift you up.
1 officer has been fired and 3 others were put on administrative reassignment. Even before this settlement, the city did pass Breonna's law, making it mandatory for officers to wear body cameras when executing searches and also banning no-knock warrants. Jericka Duncan, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
For more, the CEO of the Louisville Urban League, Sadiqa Reynolds, joins me now. Sadiqa, welcome. First off, what is your reaction to this settlement, and are you satisfied with the police reforms that are a part of it?
So my reaction to the settlement is that, I have 2 children. I don't know a number that you could pay me that would satisfy me as a mother. So it is not for anyone in this community or across the country to comment on that. But I think it says something about Tamika Palmer that she had the wherewithal to push her legal team to ensure that there was police reform in this settlement. I think it is a huge win for our community that this mother does not want any other mother to trade places with her.
So tonight marks the 116th night of protests there in Louisville. The officers involved, as you know, have yet to be charged in the death of Breonna Taylor as the investigation into that shooting continues. The Attorney General says he's doing a thorough investigation, which takes time. So are these protesters satisfied with the city's settlement, or will protesters continue to press until arrests are made?
The protesters will continue to press until arrests are made, because we understand there's the civil portion of this. So the city is done with the part that they could do anything about. But whether or not criminal charges, that is squarely on the desk of the Attorney General. So we have explained to those who didn't understand that there's a civil process and a criminal process, and both of these things need to be played out. So now really all eyes are on the Attorney General And then after him, we expect some communication and indictments too from the FBI. And they have been good about sharing with us the timeline. We expect to know about charges in this case by next week.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, you have been in the past critical of the mayor and his response to the ongoing protests to the shooting. What do you think the mayor could have done better to handle these protests? What would you still like to see him do?
Well, the first thing really is I would have, if I had been mayor, I would have fired the officers. This department did not deserve the benefit of the doubt. There's enough corruption within LMPD that we knew enough about this case that it would have saved our city a lot of time, money, and pain if the officers had been fired. I would never advocate for them not having due process. I'm an attorney. They did deserve that, and so they should have appealed and done exactly what Hankinson is doing. I mean, he is the one that everybody understands deserves to be charged. There just seems to be no dispute there, at least with that one. That being said, even he is appealing, and he has plenty of problems legally. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, when the protest started, from the very first night, people have to understand that peaceful protesters were met with aggression, major aggression by the police department, tear gas, pepper bullets. And in fact, on the first night, there were 7 people who were shot. We still don't know who shot them. Police say that they did not shoot, but we don't know who did shoot. And that being said, that shooting didn't occur until after police began their aggression. And night after night, pepper bullets. It was really horrible. In fact, David McAtee has also died since Breonna Taylor. David McAtee, his shooting happened as a result of LMPD taking the National Guard down to a very poor area of our city and shooting pepper bullets at people who were in violation of a curfew that most of them probably didn't even know was in existence. So these were not protesters. These were people who were living their lives, and all of a sudden law enforcement shows up and begins shooting at them. So people have to understand that our leadership in this city, we have been suffering. We need police reform. I am so proud of LONITA Baker, the attorney that represented the family for Breonna Taylor, for pushing for some conversation around reform, because if not, this department is going to kill again, and it won't be long.